Guys, it is July 27th, 2024. This one here is kind of a weird one. I got a call probably about 3 weeks ago, and a lady had just bought a house, and there was water like dumping down in the basement when she ran the AC on the second floor. So I didn't do a video on that, but when I went over there, she just had bought this house, and they had put a new system in up on the second floor, and the condensate piping was never connected inside the walls, so it would just, the condensate was just dumping in the walls on the second floor and running all the way down to the first. There was a chase there where they had a chimney chase for a chimney on the first floor, and the water would dump all the way down from second to first and into the basement. So I had to open up all the walls and find the piping and reconnect it. It was, I guess there was two pipes going up, and then when they went upstairs there was only one pipe that they must have put a new system in and they never connected the pipes, or they broke in a wall or something. So I fixed that. Now she's calling me that she's got a flood in the, at the unit. So supposedly someone went over there and said it looks like there's a cracked secondary pan. So there might be water backing up in the secondary pan. There's probably no emergency switches on the system, or it was a real shit install. So I gotta go back over there and see if I could find out what's leaking and why it's leaking and why the system didn't shut off. There should be safeties on that, but I didn't install the system. I looked at it quickly and didn't look like it was the greatest install, but I don't think that there was any safety switches or anything like that. So maybe the drain backed up, I'm not sure, to the secondary pan. But the guy didn't say anything about water in the secondary pan. He said it was cracked. So I don't know. Supposedly they got a good size leak over there. Like I told her, I said, I never installed that flipping system. I fixed the leak that was in the wall, but now it's leaking in a different area. What a flipping shit show. So I'm going over there on Saturday and try to help the lady out. You should really call back the guy who installed the flipping thing. But she just bought this house, so she don't know who it was that installed it. I guess what happened was, there was an old lady there in her 90s that lived there, and she had a new system replaced on the first floor and the second floor. And it was probably done last fall, and she never ran the AC on the second floor because she was old. She never went up there. So when this lady bought the house, when she ran the AC, it was leaking in the walls. Big time leaking in the walls. But I didn't do no video on that. We got that straightened out, but now there's other issues. So she probably never ran it, because if it was installed in the fall and she never ran the AC, that's what I'm thinking. So now that this lady's bought the house and she's running it, there's issues. I was here in this wall here. This is where the lines weren't connected. There's two lines coming up, and I had to open up the wall. You can see there's one line going in there. It was all foam sprayed, and it was just an elbow in there on an angle. It was just dumping in the wall last time I was here. When I came back, those are the secondary pan with a switch. But the problem is, that corner is tipped way down on this end, and this pan on this end is lower than that switch. So I gotta put a hanger here and try to level this thing off. Sweating my ass off up here. see it's tipping down. I don't know if you could see that 2 foot level, but that 2 foot level square going across. So from there to there, I got a piece of 3/4 copper on that other end to level it. So you can see the whole thing's tipping down the wrong way. Shoddy install. He's got a metal bracket under the furnace, but nothing on this end. It's just flopping in the wind here. So I got to do something about that. I'm gonna pick this end up here somehow. I got some hangers. I'm gonna do a little video for her insurance. It looks like not gonna be mine. I didn't install this thing. What I ended up doing is take a piece of. When I get over there, I'll show you. Look at how much it's off. That's what, a piece of 3/4 pipe. Look at that. Wow. That's a lot. That's level. Can you see that? So that end is tipping down. There's no water in the trap. No water in there. No, it's not backing up. There's no water here in the pan. I don't think this pan's even in the right spot, to be honest with you. See, there was water in the corner there, and that's where it flooded. What we gotta do is level this thing off and then worry about it. Fucking pain in the ass. She's a leaner. She's leaning that way. So obviously you can see all this water here in the bottom of the pan, right? That's level, but I got a 3/4 pipe on this end. So the whole thing's tipping down. I don't know if you can see it, but man, she's flipping leaning. So I got a hanger here. I got a hanger there so I can jack it up right here with this thing. That's what I'm gonna do. Have it so it's, I gotta pick this end up, and then I'm gonna have to do something with this pan here. I'm not sure yet, but something. It's got this little pissy ass flipping. Look at this shit. This is the way the guy did it. And it wasn't even connected on the wall where he went in. That's what I did last time, and leak was in the wall there. But I didn't know about this. This was after the fact. She's a leaning tower of pizza here, mama. She's a leaner. I should be able to jack it up right here. And alright, I had to really crank this thing up a lot to get this thing to be level. Now I'm gonna do it this way. I got these rods. Now I gotta jack up that other side even more. Gotta make sure that this thing is nice, and I want it pitching to this. If anything, it wants to be tipped a little bit, right? I'd rather bring 2 guys to stand on. Man, I'm sweating my ass off. Look at this thing. Wow. Look how much I jacked it up. Wow. That's how much it was off. Wow. That's a lot. Holy shit. I'm gonna mark that and see how much we're off. Wow. Look at how much we're off. That's flipping nuts. I still gotta do the other side yet. Well, I mean, that's a lot. I'm level there. And I'm level there. It's still tipping a little bit that side, but I don't think that's gonna be that big of a deal. I might want to put some might have to put some, I don't think he's even got the rubbers on the other side. Yeah, the furnace is pretty level, so thinking I'm good. I'd like to put a float switch on this thing, so if it ever overflows, it shut off. Well, that's what I like to do. Should be able to do that. I'm sweating my ass off here. I put a mark there, and I'm gonna take that. I'm gonna take that off. We'll see how much I raised it. They'll tell us how much I raised it. Oh, I raised it up 7/8, 3/4 of an inch. I raised it up 3/4 of an inch. That's enough to overflow the pan. Yeah, that's going. That should be okay. I think it's the same on the other side. I got it. Yeah. It's okay, it's level, so. Yeah. I'm gonna put a float switch on it too. This thing's not even glued. And the thing was loose. Not even glued. Not even glued. That ain't no good. It could have been leaking here and running down too. I mean, it wasn't even tight. It's gotta be tight. Unbelievable. Alright, I put another switch right here. There's one here that was loose. I can't get that nut off of there. I tried everything, but I was gonna put one there, but I can't. So we're just breaking the red that goes to the thermostat through this thing and through that one as a backup. What I think what's happening was this thing was tipped and the water was going in the ductwork and coming out the ductwork past the pan. You know, some coming in the pan, but some going out. I don't think that pan's cracked. So we're gonna run it and try it. And they'll shut power off to the thermostat. There won't be anything. If there's any water that gets in this pan, it'll shut off. That's the best I can do, and we'll try it, run it. This don't need a trap because it's a furnace and it's pushing. And this thing will come out, and I don't see any water in there. That's a secondary safety. You can see where the patch was on the wall. I don't know if you can see it or not, but I cut this wall open. This is where it wasn't connected in here before. Anyway, let's see what happens. We're gonna run it. definitely going down, but we're gonna run it for a while, the water, and make sure it don't leak. I got a little video here I put together so you can show your insurance. I'll put it together for you, okay? I'll be able to give it a little time and see if that backs up. That's a kind of a weird sized pipe going down the wall. It's not even 3/4. It's smaller than 3/4.
Right. Before you fixed up what was in the other wall, you think it wasn't an issue because everything was just going right down the wall?
What do you mean?
When you were here last time, you fixed up the pipes that it wasn't even attached.
Right. Well, it was definitely dumping in the wall because you seen it, right?
I could hear it too.
You could hear it.
But at that point, I don't think there was any water in the pan or anything.
Well, we
So
probably didn't run it long enough.
Yeah, or it was just.
And then you went back to New Hampshire,
Right.
right? And then you just come back and you see the flood. So from now on, if you go anywhere, it's kind of like weird in the walls because it doesn't show, not showing on the ceiling. It's just showing a little bit of mold. So it's probably not. I mean, how wet was this stuff up here? Really bad?
I didn't come up. He did. I think you could ask.
Yeah, I think it was just draining out the flipping ductwork. That's what I think. Let's see where it was. Probably. To give it some time and see what the flip happens, but I guess this was all wet before. I'll have to come back and check on it Monday, I guess. The back side of it. Just want to make sure that this isn't leaking. It's not leaking. There's a 7/8 line I put in there that was so I could, I just put a piece of hose in there so I could connect it. It wasn't even connected on the wall. That was before. But I didn't do anything with the going down. She's not backing up. I'm gonna let it run for the weekend and I'll come back and check on it Monday. Let it run. I'm gonna put this board over here and take my boards out of here and put that board here. Yeah, they're beautiful.
She's big.
Yeah, they're big. I wanna see. Oh, I could smell it, yeah. You can see it's been, yeah. Definitely do something with this. I would get the guy in here. I could smell it.
Yeah.
Huh? Yeah, you don't want to be around that.
Yeah, that's why we slept in there last night, but we opened all the windows.
Yeah. I don't see anything leaking. And I did tighten up that hanger. It's been running for about, I don't know, 45 minutes. I'm gonna come back Monday and check on it. She wants to get out of here because of the mold. I did tighten that up. She's draining, she's not backing up, so it's going down. It's that queer size. It's not even. That's not even 7. That's not even 3/4. It's more like a cheap ass. I don't know what it is, but it's not 3/4. It's like 5/8 or something. There's an adapter. There's a bushing right there. That's not leaking. I don't see any leaks, so probably gonna be fine. I'm gonna let it run over the weekend. I'll come back and check on it Monday, Saturday. Now, all right, guys, just left that job. They're gonna bail out of there because of the mold problem down on the first floor. It's kind of stinky in that bathroom. But I'm gonna let it run over the weekend. It's Saturday around 1 o'clock, and I'll go back Monday morning and it should be dry. What happened, the thing was tipped forward just enough to, you know, probably push water out of the front of that pan when it was running. Just a little bit, and, you know, she was up in New Hampshire. They weren't around. This is like a summer residence for them, and flooded the place. I didn't see a lot of flooding on the second floor, but for some reason it went down and all the way to the first floor through the walls. Second floor looks fine. It's the first floor where that bathroom is, where all that water was accumulating. And it wasn't the drain. I was there 3 weeks ago, and the drain in the wall was disconnected. Wasn't even connected in a flipping wall. Run the AC and the thing would just dump in the flipping wall. It was going all the way to the basement. That problem's been fixed 3 weeks ago. Now this is another issue that we just straightened out, and I told her it wasn't my fault. You know, I didn't install that system. I've been there a while, playing around with this thing, trying to straighten it out for her. She's got to go through the insurance company. Hopefully they don't try coming after me. It wasn't my fault. But anyway, we did what we could. We straightened it out, and it is what it is. I'll go back Monday and I'll check on it. I feel pretty confident that I got it, you know, by putting that hanger on there and straightening the flipping unit out. Thing was crooked. Hack job. Flipping drain was loose. Flipping drain. The drain wasn't even tight. Wasn't even glued. Crazy. Unbelievable. So I put a little video together for the insurance company, and I wish I would have did a video of the other one that when the pipe was broken in the wall, disconnected in the wall, but it was that funky 3/4 pipe. It's not even 3/4. It's a weird sized pipe. It's not regular 3/4 PVC. So I had to use that 7/8 hose, black rubber hose, 7/8 washing machine hose to whip it in, because it's the same. It was the right diameter. I would have used regular hard PVC, but I didn't have any. It's kind of in a weird spot way where it was, so I just used a piece of hose in the wall. I was able to, you know, whip the hose down, and because I didn't go all the way up when I opened the wall up, I was down, you know, down about 5 feet, I guess, 6 feet. I didn't go all the way up to 8 feet. So, but that's not a problem. The hose in the wall, that wasn't leaking anymore. What a flipping shit show. That's all I could say. I don't see any water. We're gonna check, see if anything's wet. Don't look like it. I don't see any water in the pan. I don't see any water here. We're gonna check on the other side. When I first came up, this was all It was all insulated and foamed in. I had to rip all that foam apart. But that's where the original leak was. When I first came here, it was in that wall. That pipe that goes in there wasn't connected. Double check that it's not leaking. This is nice and cool, so it's been running. It's kind of hard to maneuver around here, but there's not a lot of... Guy should have put plywood down. I don't see anything wet. I don't see anything wet. I don't see anything wet. She's gonna have to keep an eye on it, I guess. You can see the platform. It only goes so far. But I got this secured now with this bracket holding up this end. What was happening, I think, the whole thing had tipped. And then when it was running, it was, you know, blowing over the pan because this end was low and it was getting into this ductwork and dripping down from this ductwork down. But I don't see it doing it now. I wanted to come back and double check it. I don't see anything leaking, so I can get my shit out of here, I guess. Yeah, so here's the two lines coming down. When I first came here, the water was dumping right down here. I mean, flooding the flipping place. And that was on the 8th, 20 days ago. I did cut the lines here, and I tried vacuuming them. This is the one that's tied in now in the wall, and that's the one that's capped. And it does go down to a condensate pump there. Both systems are a Manna, and I did replace the condensate pump for the original owner before she sold the house. This condensate pump was a problem. It was frozen outside the line, and I replaced the pump, and that was back on January. I replaced the pump for her. But then when the new owner came, she called me when she started running the AC. She noticed the thing was dumping here, and this was in the wall. But then I got that fixed, and then she calls me 3 weeks later about the other issue that we just addressed. You know, call said she could hear water running, dripping in the wall here when she ran the second floor air conditioner, first call. Then downstairs was that other furnace, and it was dumping right down there. So when I measured over from the stairs, and this was the area right here. You could see where the guy did the patch. See how he did a shoddy patch? I don't know if you could see it. But I opened this wall up here. I thought it was in this closet, but it was in this wall. I opened that up. We ran a second floor unit, and it was dumping from upstairs down. So we went upstairs and opened up that wall. That's when I found it wasn't connected. And now the leak is in here. Before the leak was over there. This is where the unit is, on this side where all the mold is. When you come up here, the water was, when I first came here the first time, we opened up the wall here. You could see where it's been patched. And then that was this, where the line came in. There was two lines coming up. There was one line came in with an elbow that was twisted, that was never connected, or it popped off when they did the install. But they never ran the unit, because the old lady never ran it. She was old, lived downstairs. So when this new lady bought it, she ran it. It was dumping, so I reconnected this and ran the unit and figured that that was the leak. But she had other issues going on. Other leaks. hopefully we got it straightened out. Rigid scope here, I'm going to check it out. See if I can look under that pan, see if that pan is cracked. I don't think so, but I have to cover my ass. This thing should be able to turn it on and scope underneath there. That drain connection underneath was loose when I came here, and it wasn't even glued, so that could have been where it was coming out of. You can see how this thing was tipped. This none of this insulation's wet, so I mean, I don't know. I'm not even sure if that's where it was coming from, because you'd figure that this insulation would all be soaked, and it's not. I don't know if there's any. It looks like that might have a crack in it. I don't know. The only way of really checking it is filling it with water. Unless I get my phone in there somehow and get a picture of it. I could feel it. I could feel the pan's got a crack in it. Son of a bitch. I could feel it. Alright guys, I got a new Goliath pan. That other pan's cracked. I'm gonna have to jack up the furnace somehow and get the pan out, put the new one in there. I'm involved over here now. I gotta get this thing right. It's got a cracked pan under it now. So I got 2 hangers for the furnace, and I got two rods for each side. I got my rod hangers and shit in here. I should be able to hang the furnace and jack it up and get the flipping pan out of it. I got a hanger there in the back, and I pushed it out, and you can see this flipping frame shit he's got here. I got a hanger there. I'm gonna put another hanger in the middle here, and I'm gonna put another pan on the bottom. But the pan is, I think it's cracked. That's what, pretty sure it's got a flipping crack in it. Yeah, it's got a crack in it right there. It's got a crack in it right there. Oh yeah, from all the fucking pressure on it, from it doing the funky chicken on the edge there. It's got a crack in it right there. You see that? There's our problem. She's flooded. Who the hell put shit like that in? Stupid. Stupid. That's how we had it like that. And the furnace was from there to there, and then the A coil was hanging over the edge. But there's a crack in it. You can see the water right here. There's the crack. Here's the crack. I could feel it on the back side. Look at it all. It's right there in the middle. There it is. I gotta send a picture. I'm gonna do a little video, but that's it right there. Right in the middle. Oh, bitch. It's a leaker. See, that's how he had it, like that, with them 2 pieces of... And then, you know, the A coil was hanging over, and the thing was pushing down. So that's why it cracked right there. Too much pressure, like pushing down on it, I think. I don't know, but I'm gonna put plywood down, and I'm gonna set the new base right on the plywood, and I'm just gonna hang the furnace above it because it's going up through the roof. I don't want to play with any of that shit. And I'll just put plywood down. I'll put the new pan down, the switches in it, and I'll be good to go. I gotta get that other hanger on there. And I got some plywood I brought with me. I got a new pan here, brand new. I'm gonna use the old switch. It should be good. All right, I got a couple up. 2'7". It's gonna be for a walkway going up there. 2'7". This is 2 foot. This is that's a little bit bigger than this. Put that on the plywood, on the floor joist up there. And I could, you know, depends on where the joists are, but if I go a little over, I'm not too worried about it. At least you got a nice base. I wonder if I could get by with one. Probably, I might be able to get by with one. It depends on where the joists land, you know. But I got no issue using the other one. You know, maybe cutting it if I have to. We'll see. We'll see where it lands on the joists. And I kind of like to have, you know, a full base all the way around. So, you know, if there's any leakage, you'll see it on the wood, right? And those little 2 pieces I could use as walkway. What a flippin' shit show. That's all I could say. I don't like to do work like this. I mean, once I'm involved with it, if I would have left it like that, I did fix the leak, but if it ever went to the secondary pan, it would flood the house again. Crazy. Alright, so that's how it was. The unit was, you know, the back of the furnace was here. That was screwed down, and then them square blocks are screwed down, and that was sitting on top. Obviously it was pulled this way a little bit, right? But right where those arrows are, that's where the crack is, from there all the way to here. Oh, where them arrows are. And that was the side that was pushed down. So all that weight was pushing down. He didn't have no support under that end. I think that's why the pan cracked. Should have never did that. He should have had, you know, braces. You know, if he was gonna do it this way, I would have did like 6 of them. You know, if he would have did like 1 on each stud, or 2 or 3, or at least 3, at least 1 on this end. Well, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put plywood down, and I'm gonna put it right on the plywood, the new one. All right, so I got a hanger in the back. I got a hanger in the front. And I left that hanger there that I put on the other day. I put plywood down. That's a 2'8" by 8 feet sheet. And the pan is under, you know, covering the coil and part of the furnace. Doesn't have to cover the whole furnace, but I got this switch. I used that other switch that was there and made sure it was tight. We've got a nice base. It's laying right on a plywood now. This is level. Another piece of plywood down here to step on. That's level. And you can see it's, so if it drips, it's gonna, it's just floating there on the wood, you know. I mean, you could move it if you want. That's good. It's enough to cover the coil. Really needs to cover the coil, if anything, you know. The coil is what's going to leak, or right in front of the ductwork, if anything. That's good. Oh God, we're all tight. What a bitch. I mean, like I said, I didn't do this job, but I feel once you get involved, you're kind of involved, you know. And I got the power back on. Alright, so I got it. See, it's up on the hangers. Got a hanger here. I got a hanger. The furnace is hung, and then I got the pan down below it. I got the plywood. Put the plywood down and the pan on the plywood. This should be better. I could turn it back on. What a shit show. I'll be able to turn the AC back on now. What a flippin' shit show. Alright, she's running. I got 2 safeties in a pan. I used a 3/8 rod couplings coming off the bottom with a washer, so I could tighten them up. I made sure everything was locked tight. The nuts were tight. Looks like a flippin' octopus from hell here. I did add another piece of wood here. So we have that other piece over there. I added 2 pieces. And then a full piece 4x8 sheet underneath the unit for the pan to sit on. Oh, man, I wasn't expecting this to have to do this, but can I tell you, can't leave it like that, because then it would have been my insurance next year if the thing ever backed up. Insulation from hell. I just came back up here, made sure everything was tight, all the back and cross nuts. Just want to double check. This is not legal. See this smoke pipe in here? It's supposed to be all B-vent. That's another reason why I didn't want to move it, because it's going up through the roof there. The B-vent. I don't want to play with that. Flipping hot up here, man. Should be good now. What a flippin' shit show. Yeah, so I just left that job, and I had to go back because it was bothering me that, you know, that flood, where it was coming from, and I wanted to go over there and check the bottom of that pan really good, and I was able to feel around under there, and I felt the crack. You know, I could have probably got some buckets of water and dumped some water in there and checked it that way, but it could have been that, you know, everything was loose. It might have been from that. It might have been coming out the ductwork. I didn't know. So it was one of those that I wanted to just double check and make sure. Cover on my ass. You hear that saying? Because I've been in business for over, what, 30 years now, and I've never had a claim yet. So I don't want to start. I try to dot all my I's and cross all my T's, and if there's something wrong that I did, I'll go back and I'll fix it, or, you know, try to. A guy like that did an install like that, I bet you any money he's not even in business anymore. Who the hell would work like that? It's flipping nuts. I never seen anything like it before. That was really a shit install. That's what you call a hack job from hell. Anyway, I told the, I'll call to talk to the owner, or I text the owner and told her I had to go back and you know, check that pan really good, make sure that it can hold water, because you know the system's going to leak eventually and back up into that pan, and if it floods the house again, they're going to come after me. So can't have that shit. I shouldn't even have got involved with it, to be honest with you. It's like going out with a pretty girl, you know? You go out with this girl that's beautiful and everything, and nobody wants her. I wonder why. Because she's a flippin' psycho. Psycho chicken from hell. If you go out with her for a week or so, you find out.